Three, two, one. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Nine Hope Podcast. I hope everybody is doing well. It is going to look a little different today here on the Nine Hope Podcast. Obviously, I have coaches, I have brands, I have players that come on and talk about their journey, try to influence and give some great insight to the next generation of student athletes like yourself, to the next generation of baseball players. Just to people that want to do it, people that look up to these athletes, these players, and want to be able to do what they did and are currently doing, and maybe want to find out how they do it. Right? That's what I'm doing here at the Nine Hope Podcast. I am making a more of an effort, a conscious effort, to get to know my audience a little bit better. That looks like interacting, reaching out, answering questions, answering notes, messages, all that stuff, in hopes of finding out what drives you guys, what you guys want to hear, what you guys want to see. And man, I've been getting a lot of questions about certain topics that I'm going to start hitting on now once a week, right? So I'm going to be doing this virtually on top of the Nine Hope podcast. So I'm going to continue having guests on. I'm going to continue having players and coaches on to talk about their story, to influence the next generation, if you will. But I'm now going to hit on certain topics that I get in my inbox. So I've the past couple of weeks I've been putting out some stories, just saying, man, look, if you have questions, hit me with them. Hit me with them. I got an easier day today. Throw it at me. Let's dive into some stuff, talk about some stuff that you guys want to hear personally, and maybe see if there's a way that we can all work together here. So I've been getting a lot of questions from the audience about certain things like playing small ball. A lot of questions about confidence. A lot of questions about certain traits. Leadership, being able to stand out, being able to get recruited, all this stuff. And obviously, that is stuff that I feel as though I am qualified to talk about. That is stuff that I feel as though I've, learned and developed along my journey, and I've implemented that in my process, and I've gotten to where I've gotten, right? I'm not saying that that is better than everybody else, but this is the way that I look at it. I wouldn't go to a personal trainer, a dude that works at LA Fitness or Planet Fitness or whatever, and pay money or give my time to somebody and ask them to train me in the gym, give me a workout routine, maybe a diet plan, right? Teach me about macros, all that stuff. And he's got a dumpy body. I would not do that. I would not go to somebody to ask for advice or to get their expertise, right? If they didn't look the part, I'm sorry, but that's what it is. On the flip side, why would I go to somebody for baseball advice or, tips to separate or to rise up or to maximize my baseball potential if they've never done it, right? So I'm seeing a lot of questions from my audience asking about, leadership, confidence, right? Separation, all that stuff, small ball, bunting, running, staying healthy, all that stuff. I'm going to dive into it. I'm going to take it one bite at a time, 1 week at a time. This week just so happens to be about confidence. I will throw it up here on my social media here pretty shortly. Marketing that, I think we're going to limit the audience to 100 people. That's what I have the capacity to do right now. This is going to be, the third or fourth time that we're going to be running through this. I like it. I think it's got great potential here to expand and just hit a broader audience, but really more so, man, I want to target this towards the people that really care, the ones that reach out to me, the ones that have questions, the one that interact. That's what this is targeted for, the ones that kind of want to separate and take their talents to the next level and rise up and separate. Man, that's what I'm looking to do. That's what I did personally. That's who I'm looking to educate. That is my target audience, the ones that fucking care, the ones that want to make it farther than everybody else. Even if you're in the 9 hole, even if you're average, dude, there's ways to do it. There are ways to do it. Like I said, going to hit on one topic a week. This one, we're going to talk about it this Sunday, I believe. What is it? The 17th, I believe. Sunday the 17th. I'll leave a little bit more information here going forward. But like I said, people are telling the next generation of baseball players they can get them to the big leagues. People are telling the next generation of baseball players that they'll help you unlock something you need either to get drafted, to get to the big leagues, to have a long career. And none of these guys have done that. They haven't done it. They really haven't done it. They haven't gotten to the big leagues. They haven't accomplished anything. They aren't proven leaders or they've not accomplished anything that they say they can help you do it. Why would you put your trust and time and energy into people like that? That's what got me started with the Nine Hole podcast. That's kind of what helped me kind of figure out my platform, my voice, and got me on the mic. Now I fucking love this. I'm having a blast with it. I think I'm pretty solid at it. And now I'm going to take it a step deeper, a step further, and dive into it and spend some time with people that want more. So that's what I'm here to do. Before I get going, man, I want to give a shout out to anybody that's listening on Apple Podcasts, anybody that's watching this on YouTube. That seems to be, my two biggest platforms, I guess you could say, of people that consume my long form content. Obviously, I can break this stuff down into shorts and clips and all that stuff on YouTube and TikTok and whatever on MySpace, dude. What into all the other stuff, but the long form content like this, that's great. I really do appreciate you guys, giving me a thumbs up and liking, rating my stuff, man, on the Apple Podcast. I'm seeing some of that, and it's awesome. It's fantastic. I want to say thank you very much. So without further ado, man, got some notes here on the side. I'm going to be kind of freeballing, spitballing, however you want to say it. Freeballing might not be the way to say it, but I'm going to be going off the cuff a little bit. I just have some notes here to keep me structured. So you see me looking to the right, man. It's not scripted. It is not scripted, but I am going to try to stay on track because I got dinner here in about 40 minutes. So the topic of discussion this week, like I said, for the virtual seminar this weekend, we're going to be hitting on confidence, man. So how do you get confidence? How do you keep confidence? How do you use that confidence to get out of a slump or a tough time, right? We're all going to go through ebbs and flows during a season. How in the fuck do we get out of that, right? You need to A, believe you can get out of it. B, rely on your hard work. And man, C, you have to, I'll dive into it this weekend, right? I kind of don't want to give away the secret sauce. That might be the little teaser right there. But there are going to be a couple things that I'm going to dive deep into this weekend, and provide for these guys. Maybe you'll see some clips of it, maybe you won't. But on this episode, I wanted to talk about getting confidence. How do you get confidence, man? It's not something that you are born with, right? It's not it's not preset when you come out, man. It's not, you're not just implement. It doesn't just it's not DNA. It's not in your DNA, right? It's something that you need to develop. It's something that you need to learn, or it's something that you fake, right? So we'll dive into all those three here a little bit deeper. This is obviously all as it pertains to baseball because that's what I know, but this translate into a whole bunch of other shit that's off the field, right? How you carry yourself day to day, whether you're a businessman, I'm taking my business off the ground. I take my podcast off the ground. I am implementing the stuff that I've learned through baseball and I am applying it to my everyday life, right? So this stuff, this confidence shit, man, it'll trickle into your everyday life. It'll trickle into everything, every aspect of your life if you let it. And so I just wanted to talk about how you get it, right? Something you develop either through trial or error, learning things, man, learning new things, the people around you, the content you consume, your thoughts, that little voice in your head, man, or it's something you fake when you don't have it and you don't know where to get it. That is obviously something that you want to stay away from. We'll hit on that at the end, man. But I wanted to preface this with a little stat. Man, people love stats, especially us as baseball players. We love stats. We live and die by stats. We know that, if you're, what is it? If you're 2 for 8, bro, you're hitting 250, right? If you're 2 for 9, ooh, I don't know that one. But if you're 2 for 10, you're hitting 200, right? So people love stats, especially baseball players, man. So here's a sick stat for you. The odds of a high school baseball player going on to play Division I baseball is 43-1, which equates to 2.3%. That was in 2022, 2023, right? So this was last year. That is a pretty small number. That's a minuscule number. And dude, you want to factor in the transfer portal? Man, I can't really talk very well today. You want to factor in the transfer portal and that number might even fluctuate and get a little bit lower. You think about those, you know, those second year dudes. They just completed their freshman year in college at a D3 or a JUCO or a D2, and they're like, man, shit, I just won the player of the year, conference player of the year. I want to transfer up. I'm going to go to my dream school, right? You don't get penalized for that now with the transfer portal. So if you are a high school senior and you're like, dude, I just hit 400 for my high school team, and you know I want to commit to this school, dude. You're not just competing for a spot now with those players on the team. There's a whole plethora of transfer portal dudes that are just fucking drooling at the opportunity to take your spot, right? So it's getting even more cutthroat. That's what I wanted to say, right? 2.3% is pretty small. That is a low percent. That is a low percent. What's even crazier on top of that is you've chosen to play a game that if you fail 7 times out of 10 at every level for the rest of your life, you will be a millionaire. You will be wealthy and achieve everything that you want beyond your dreams. Fail 7 out of 10 times and you're a 300 hitter. If you're a 300 hitter, you move on. You hit 300, you move on. You hit 300, you move on, right? I'm sure there needs to be some intangible stuff, right? Some things there, some tools in order to get you drafted. But if you hit 300, you will progress. You will ascend. You will keep going, man. So you fail 7 times out of 10. That is a boatload of failure. That is a boatload of failure. You are succeeding 3 times out of 10, and you're in the Hall of Fame, dude. 30%. That's absurd. Can you do that? Can you do that? How do you do that? How do you do that over the course of 60 plus games? You play Division One baseball. How do you do that over the course of 140 games if you play minor league baseball? How do you do that over the course of 162 games if you are in the show? You do that by having confidence. Plain and simple, man. You have confidence. Confidence, man. How do you get it? Something you develop. Number one, confidence comes from achievements, stuff that you've been able to do, accomplishments, right? Your track record, bro. If you have a track record of success, of winning, you are going to be confident. That's something that you learn. Well, I'm getting ahead, right? It is something you learn, but we're touching on something you develop. Getting ahead of myself, getting excited, right? Building a winning track record, doing hard shit over a long period of time, sacrificing and having discipline, i.e., training over partying. So, doing hard shit. How do you build on confidence? You do hard shit and you do it incrementally. You chip away, you stack those little wins over a certain period of time, and you get better day in and day out. If you say you want to run 5 miles, dude, if you say it, do it. Stick to your word. Stick to it. You have a plan, you have a goal in mind, achieve it. Kind of write out a roadmap. This is what I do. I spend time with, specific personal clients that will ask me how to do that, right? We build out a roadmap. We can kind of build out what that looks like. They have plans and goals for the year. I help them build out a roadmap. This is how you're going to hit those goals. This is how I hit those goals. This is how you can hit those goals. This is why we're going to try to hit those goals, right? So the time that you put in, you're going to get out. Time you put in, you're going to get out. Do hard shit and do it over a long period of time. That will build confidence, right? You're going to develop that. You're going to develop that. You have discipline. You sacrifice. You choose the training over the partying. I remember that my junior year of high school, I did not make the I don't even remember what the name of the team was, man. I don't even remember the name of that fucking team, but I didn't make it. Keystone State Games. Keystone State Games. I did not make that team. My junior year, tried out, was heartbroken. Fuck those guys. My senior year, I came back out, and I remember that I had homecoming the night before tryouts. So I think homecoming was on a Friday night, and these tryouts for the Keystone State Games, my senior year, was on Saturday morning. I had just been cut the year before, and all of the elite players, at least in Chester County, were making the Keystone State Games. So I needed to make a decision. I was going to go to homecoming my senior year and potentially leave early so that I could go right to these tryouts on 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, or I was going to Just say, screw it, man. Stay there. There was like an after party, school sanctioned, right? But it was just overnight, and so like I left early so I could go to these. Man, I caught a lot of heat. I put myself and my goals and what I was training to accomplish in front of anything else, man. I sacrificed diet discipline. Ended up making that team. That's right. Ended up making it this year. Man, that's how I got seen. I got seen there. I got seen there by the Wagner College coach. Joe Laterio at the time saw me lay down a bunt there at the Keystone State Games, and the rest is history. Ended up at Wagner, ended up getting drafted, ended up in the big leagues, man. It's crazy how that works, man. Do hard shit over a long period of time, and you will develop confidence. Your inner voice, your positive self talk, and your thoughts, dude. This is a big one. If you don't think positively, how are you going to be positive? If you're not positive, how are you going to have confidence? If you're thinking negative and worst case scenario all the time, how are you going to have confidence, bro? It's impossible. That shit's impossible. Your inner voice, man, you can feed that inner voice by piling up wins, or you can feed that inner voice negatively by not doing hard shit, by not doing the stuff that you said you're going to do, by not battle testing yourself, by not failing, right? Dude, you fail and then you improvise, you adapt, and you overcome. You fail. You can either look at that as a failure or you can look at that as a learning moment. You know what you need to do in order to overcome it next time. My junior year, dude, I stunk. I couldn't get the ball out of the infield. Dude, I couldn't get the ball out of the infield. Came back that senior year, bailed on that prom. Smell ya. Went to the tryout. I hit a double in left center field gap, 2-0 pitch, fastball away. I still remember it, dude. And I ended up making that team, dude. It's just how it goes, man. It's how it goes. You do hard stuff, man. You fail and then you rise back up, pick yourself back up, and you build. But you're always getting better. You develop, and that's where confidence comes from. Don't let anybody tell you different. Please don't let anybody tell you different. Incrementally chipping away at your goals and dreams over time. Dude, you're not gonna make the varsity team in one day, especially if you're a freshman. You're not going to be a varsity starter. You're not going to be a Division I starter as a freshman just after one day. You have to build, dude. You have to chip away over time. I had to walk on to my Division I team, Wagner College, and I had to fucking prove myself with the big boys. I had to do that over the course of the fall season, right? You have the fall where stats don't matter. You're inter squatting, right? You're seeing like the coaches are able to kind of get a feel for what the roster is, what the players are like. I had to fucking prove it there. I had to win there. I had to incrementally chip away every single day. I had to work harder than other people. I had to sacrifice more, and I had to do hard shit. Improve season after season. If you remain complacent in the offseason, oh, dude, you know what? I hit 231 my freshman year. I had 13 bags out of 14 attempts. I'm big dick swinging, dude. Uh, no, that's brutal. That's brutal. Go back to the drawing board, figure it out, get better. Have to get better. Incrementally improve every single day. Incrementally chip away every single day. That's how you get confidence. Last point here, stacking W's or W's, however you want to say it. Incrementally stacking W's or W's every single day. If I win one day, I win here today, if I wake up at 5, like I set my alarm to do, and I don't hit snooze when that shit rings at 5, and I get up and then I work or I go to the gym or I run 5 miles, dude, that is a W. That's a W. That is stacking that. Now, I can probably guarantee you that I'm going to fucking win the day. If I wake up at 5 before anybody else is out of REM sleep and I go run 5 miles, there's no way I'm losing this day. There's no way that anybody's going to beat me. I'm incrementally stacking those W's. And then you win a day, tomorrow you win a week, you win a month, you win the year, and you're just fucking winning left and right, right? Stacking those W's will help you develop confidence. Don't let anybody tell you different. If they tell you different, they haven't won. They aren't stacking wins. They aren't sacrificing more than you. They aren't developing. Fuck them. Number 2, man, how do you get confidence? Well, if you're not developing it, if you're not necessarily able to stack those W's or you're not necessarily able to, sacrifice or you stink at the discipline thing, man, you can learn it. Confidence is something that you can learn. Don't let anybody tell you different. Being around the right people, who you hang out with, what teammates you hang out with, who you watch. If you hang out with losers, you will in fact be a loser. If you hang around with people that haven't accomplished anything or do anything or haven't done anything, you can probably look yourself in the mirror and say, I haven't done shit. That's just how it goes. You hang around losers, you're going to be a loser. You hang around losers for a long time, you will be a loser for a long time. This is why winners and this is why people that are extremely successful are sometimes lonely or maybe don't have a large friend group or don't hang around with the average people. There are a bunch of average fucking Joes that like I went to high school and college with that haven't done anything or I've played minor league baseball with that didn't make it out of, A ball or didn't do this, didn't do that, and just were like, I'm just going with the wind, fart in the wind. You know what I mean? Those are losers. Those are losers. If you hang around with losers, if you consume losers, if you talk to losers, man, you could probably bet on yourself being a loser. Hang around winners, hang around people that elevate you, hang around people that challenge you, hold you accountable. Hang around those fucking people. Hang around leaders. If you know that there's a leader or somebody that you look up to or aspire to be like, fucking hang around them, right? You don't have to necessarily annoy them, right? But if I want to be around, if I want to be like somebody and they're here in the room and there's 50 other people in the room, why wouldn't I just fucking gravitate towards that person and hang around that person? Maybe I pick something up, a trait, a quality, how they handle themselves, how they go about their business. Learn, dude. Hang around winners. Be around the right people. If you hang around losers, you are going to be a loser. What is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Hanging around the same people over and over and expecting different results from them. You hang around losers, you will in fact be a loser. Burning the ships, going all in, right? So this is how you can learn confidence. When you burn the ships, you go all in. I love this. I'm going to start sweating because this is like this is my favorite. This is my favorite right here. Burning the ships, going all in, dude. So how do you go all in? For me, it was walking on. It was walking on to a Division One school. It was getting out of my commitment to a at the time it was a safe Division Two commitment. I was close to home, and I said, you know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna burn the ships. I'm gonna decommit. I want to play Division One baseball. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm going to go all in, and I'm going to walk on, and I'm going to be a starter my freshman year, and I'm going to make it to the big leagues. Like I was going all in. That's how you do it, man. You're going to learn confidence there by burning the ships. Yeah, there's going to be trials and error, dude. Yeah, it's not going to be easy, but like you will learn that through any type of resistance or through any type of obstacles. If you rise up and you are persistent and you have, dude, you persevere, dude. Like you will learn confidence. That's it. Burning the ships. Going to Alaska for me was the make or break point. So I had alluded to this earlier, dude. I said I walked onto my D1 school. I hit 231 my freshman year. That's not great. That stinks, actually. That stinks. Played summer ball in Ohio, Hamilton, Ohio, Hamilton Joes. Stinks. And so I had a decent time there. I was a fucking bench player for whatever reason. And then came back, dude. Hit 312. Hit 312, stole, 34, 35 bags at Wagner my sophomore year. But then I got an opportunity to go to Alaska. And so that is for me burning the ships. I am a little Northeast Conference baseball player, walk on, barely have a scholarship at this point my sophomore year. They gave me a couple bucks to just keep me happy, I guess. But I got an opportunity to play in Alaska. That is across the fucking country. That is in a different area code, a different time zone. I am just a little guy over here at Wagner College, and I'm going across the world to Alaska amongst the Big Dick Bandits, the SEC players, ACC, Big 12. You know what I'm saying? West Coast dudes that just can rank, right? I was going out there. It was all or nothing, dude. Burn the ships. I'm going out there, and I set the stolen base record. I didn't take no for an answer, dude. When you burn the ships and you go all in, you will rise up and you will see what you are capable of. That's the law of ships. That's the law of ships. That is a real law. The law of ships. Burn the ships, go all in. That's how you learn confidence. Law of ships. The content you consume, the stuff you watch, YouTube videos, TV shows, the books you read, right? You can gain confidence from all that stuff. You can learn confidence from that stuff. If you don't know something, look into it. Learn about it. Learn about it, man. If you're watching negative shit, if you're watching dude, you know what? I'm not an optimist. I'm a realist. Fuck you. No, you're not. You're a pessimist. That's what that is. That is literally what that is. I touched on it earlier, man. Being around the right people. If you hang out with losers, you are going to be a loser. But if you consume content, right, that is on YouTube, you look at people that really aren't spreading a positive message. You look at people that are woe is me all the time, playing the victim type shit. Like, dude, that's what you're gonna be. If you're looking at news all day of like, oh man, country's in shambles, president this, president that. Like, dude, you're just consuming negative shit all the time. How are you going to be a confident person? How is that going to leak into any part of your day-to-day life, any part of your game, any part of anything that has to do with you if you are just consuming negative shit? People with no confidence. That's people with no confidence do that, right? You can read a whole bunch of books on confidence. I read self-development books all the time. Uh Fearless Golf, The Mental Game, Fearless. It's, I mean, what's a good a synonym? What's a good synonym? What's a good synonym for fearless? I mean, confident, right? Maybe not. Stinks. The dichotomy of leadership, dude. Fire me up. I'm always looking to develop more. I'm always looking to get an edge. I'm always looking to build and learn and grow. Right? Confident people do that. You can learn that stuff, dude. You can learn it. It just takes effort. It takes effort, right? It's something you can learn. It'll just take a little effort. If you ask the people that are fucking dumpy, if you ask the people that aren't going to help you accomplish anything or make you rise up or push you or hold you accountable, shing, cut them out. It's crazy, but it's true. It takes effort. It takes effort, right? But like so does getting to the big leagues. So does separating from the pack. So does not being average. Burning the ships, going all in. That takes effort. But you can do it. You can do it. Take some balls. I transitioned out of the wealth management industry, moved my family out here after I was done playing baseball, and didn't work out, dude. It wasn't for me. Wasn't for me. I really won't get into it too much, but I just said fuck it. I just started business. Started business and a podcast. Now here we are talking to you. I'm all in, dude. I'm all in. Takes a little bit of effort, takes a little bit of belief. But like you have any confidence in your ability and being able to do hard shit over a long period of time and incrementally chip away little by little, what's going to stop you? Nothing's stopping me. Fuck that. The content you consume, the books you read, it takes effort. It takes effort, but it's there for you. Man, it's 100% there for you. It's hilarious, but it is there for you. Number 3, man. So, how do you get confidence, right? You develop it, you learn it, or you fake it. Number 3, confidence, you fake it. Something you fake. You didn't put in the effort to learn it. You didn't really do anything in your life or try anything, right? So you didn't develop it. So you're left with just faking it. That's the only other way that you have it. You fake it. You haven't done shit. You don't try anything. You don't get up and like burn the ships and go the craziest thing. If no one People that stay in one spot their whole life. People that stay in one spot their whole life. It's crazy. What do you experience? What do you experience? What do you learn? What do you develop by staying in one spot your whole life? It's unbelievable. Something you fake, not working hard enough. People that don't work hard enough or put in the time behind the scenes, they have to fake confidence. There's no way that people that haven't accomplished anything, they haven't achieved anything, they haven't sacrificed anything, and they haven't worked hard for anything, they haven't put anything like at the forefront of something that they are chasing, they haven't worked for it, they do not have confidence, right? So they're faking it. That's how you have confidence as a person like that. And dude, faking confidence is a recipe for success, especially if you play baseball where you fail 7 times out of 10 and you're a millionaire. Something you fake, not believing that they're capable of achieving big goals or dreams. This kind of ties into that inner self voice. You may even be able to call that inner bitch. That's crazy, but that's true. If you don't believe, then you can't achieve. I've heard that a million times. Never have I ever thought I would say that on a live recording. But if you don't believe that you're capable of achieving good stuff or big things or big dreams, A, you're right. And B, you're not confident in anything that you do, in any aspect of your life. If you believe it, man, it's true. If you believe it, it is true, 100%. Not being positive. This is faking confidence. Ah, man, Ian, I am not a pessimist, dude. I'm just a realist. Nah, nah. You're not confident. You have a victim attitude, and you don't take control of your life, man. That's what that is. That's what that is. The victim mentality, the victim attitude. Ah, dude, it wasn't my fault. I can't look myself in the eye or look in the mirror and say that I did everything that I could. The circumstances were out of my control. Of course, you need to be able to control what you can control. You know how you can control what you can control? You can control fucking everything if you want. You put in the work. You incrementally chip away and stack W's day after day. You're not going to be able to control the ball when it leaves the bat, but you're going to be able to control your preparation. You control your preparation, you can control your confidence, man. Don't play the victim attitude. Don't be negative, right? Don't have self doubt. Believe you can do some shit. Believe you can accomplish whatever you think about. Work hard. Last thing here, something you fake with confidence. Leaving it up to blind luck. People that say that are unprepared. People that say that aren't disciplined. They're not focused. They're not driven. We'll see what happens, man. We'll leave it up to fate. We'll leave it up to fate. Nah, dude, you know what? I didn't sacrifice my free time. I didn't sacrifice 12 hours this weekend hitting in the cage to leave shit up to fate. I worked harder than you, so I'm going to beat you. That's confidence. That's confidence. This motherfucker did not work harder than me. He did not put in more hours than me. He wasn't up at 5 a.m. That dude was in his third cycle of REM sleep, sucking his thumb. I'm in there hitting off the cage. It's fucking dark out. That's confidence. That's confidence. That's the difference between average Joes getting to the pinnacle, like me, and dudes that fizzle out an A ball, like everybody else. That's confidence. That's how you develop it, man. In order to develop a mechanically sound swing or pitching motion, you need to work on it daily. Am I lying? Am I an idiot? Let me In order to develop a mechanically sound swing or pitching motion, you need to work on it daily from the ground up. The little things matter. The little things that are often overlooked matter. Are my feet pointed outwards? Are they pointed in, right? Do I load with my hip or do I load with my glute? Do I load there's a bunch of different ways to load. I'm not going to get into hitting, dude, but like the little stuff matters, man. Little stuff matters. Same thing happens with the mind. Same thing happens with confidence. Little things matter. Doing the little shit daily, just like you would for maintaining a swing or having maintenance on a pitching mechanic or anything, dude. It is the same thing here. Take confidence into your work, whether it's homework or whether you have a fucking job at Wendy's or, whatever that looks like, dude. You can apply all this stuff there, man. You need to work on it daily. You can't just go through the motions like during practice or like at home and then expect the shit to turn on when the lights are on and the umpire says play ball. That Get the fuck out of here, bro. In order to develop a good swing or a good pitching motion, you need to work on it daily. Same with the mental side of the game. This is something that separates the good from the great, the good from the average, and the average from the weak. Confidence, mental skills, the mental game, having confidence, having a belief in your ability, having a belief that you can do something, right? Having that confidence. How do you have confidence? We just went over it, man. Develop it, learn it, or fake it. But if you fake it, you're not going to make it. Ooh, that was hot. Might use that as the tagline here. If you want to take your game as far as it can go and you aren't a first round fucking dude who has 6'5" and throws 100 miles an hour. You need to win here. You need to win here. You need to win in the mental game. You need to win in the confidence game. You need to have confidence. You need to have a belief in yourself. It's not cockiness or arrogance. It's confidence. I worked harder than that motherfucker. There's no way he beats me. Fuck your 100-mile-an-hour fastball. You didn't work harder than me, right? Emilio Pagan was just on the podcast last week, and we were talking. He was a 10th round senior sign for 5 Gs, dude. He just signed a 2-year banger with 16 million. And him and I were coming up together in the minor leagues. He was a 10th rounder. I was a 14th rounder. And we would do this thing, man, where we would say in the pregame meeting, okay, the hitting coach would go over the lineup and the hitting coach would go over who's on the mound tonight. Oh, who's on the mound tonight for, the Modesto Nuts? We're in the high A. It's like, dude, top prospect, top prospect. And we would look, I'd be like, yo, what round was this guy drafted in? Say, oh, he's a first rounder. Signed for $2.3 million, and he's their like number 2 prospect in New York. I say, good, fuck that guy. I want him. There's no way this guy beats me. No way this guy beats me. I worked way harder than this fucking guy. Sacrificed my whole offseason and every single offseason from there on out, working hard and just doing shit that nobody else would do. And dude, it showed. I, whatever. Whatever. It showed. Is what it is. That's all I got today. That's all I got today. So like I said, boys, appreciate everybody tuning in here. I will catch you guys this weekend. For the first 100 people that sign up, show up, you're in there. We'll break down more, man. We'll get a little bit sexier on the confidence side of things, man. But I wanted to shout out everybody, like I said here in the beginning of the episode, that is tuning in. On the Apple Podcast, on YouTube, man, dropping a like, following all that stuff. I appreciate the shit out of you guys. The love that I'm getting there, I'm able to leverage that to get bigger players to come on here and talk to you guys, right? So I'm going to be joined by Cam Maben tomorrow, 15-year vet, 15 seasons in the show, bunch of different teams, fucking World Series champion. I can't get guys like that on here if you guys aren't showing love, liking and leaving comments and stuff. So I wanted to say that. Appreciate you guys. I will see that elite crew this weekend for the Talk About Confidence on Sunday. We'll dive into it further and we'll talk about how you're able to use it and implement it to get through a season, to achieve greatness in the game and to get out of slumps and stuff. So we'll see you boys here this weekend. And like I said, we'll touch base with D Gordon and maybe, I just fucking blew it. Damn. Gonna talk to Cam Maben and D Gordon this week. See you boys. Have a good night.